We are halfway through the week. Thank you for joining us for Prime Time News. Good evening, I'm Joy Gorses. As we always call upon you, if it's your first time joining us, please subscribe, press the like button, and be sure to click the bell icon to stay abreast with the latest in local and global news. We begin with the Office of the Auditor General, as trouble continues to brew in Omaheke, with both the Regional Council and Hobabas Municipality seemingly unable to account for public resources entrusted to them. Both were slapped with adverse and disclaimer audit opinions by Auditor General Junius Kanjeke. Edward Mumbu Jr. filed this report.
For years now, Kanjeke has had run-ins in Omaheke due to a barrage of irregularities either at the municipality or the regional council. Kanjeke said about the Gobabis municipality in his 2019 audit report he has not been able to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence to provide a basis for an audit opinion. The auditors were unable to obtain evidence to verify the land owned by the municipality. During the previous financial year, adjustments of 5.1 million Namibian dollars were done to the Land and Appropriation Fund balances to reflect the value of land previously excluded from the accounting records. This, however, was not reflected in opening balances brought forward from the 2017 to 2018 financial year. Additionally, the auditors also found internal deficiency mismanagement of capital projects by the municipality.
The government of China earlier today granted the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture 343 million Namibian dollars for the construction of 4 rural schools. 2 schools will be constructed in Kavango West and 2 in the Zambezi region.
The funds will be used to build new facilities at Satotwa and Simanya Combined Schools in Kavango West, as well as Liseb Combined School and Masokotwani Combined School in the Zambezi region. School hostels for both boys and girls, teachers' houses, a dining hall, classrooms, a computer lab, a library, ablution facilities, sports facilities, a septic tank, and fences are among the additional facilities being built. Anangi Pondoka, Minister of Education, Arts and Culture, stated that this project will create much-needed jobs for both skilled and unskilled workers, with the majority of workers coming from the local community. Speaking at the same event, Liu Mingzhe, Economic and Commercial Counselor at the Chinese Embassy, said the expansion and upgrading of the 4 rural schools are important projects that serve as another testament to the people of both countries' cooperation and friendship.
Vice President Nangolo Mbumba recently officiated the opening of the WorldSkills Africa competition in Swakopmund. During the event, Mbumba remarked that investing in technical and vocational education and training is akin to investing in industrialization and wealth creation.
According to Mbumba, Africa recognizes technical and vocational education and training (TVETs) as a crucial vehicle for social equity, inclusion, and sustainable development in an increasingly competitive global environment. He noted, they acknowledge TVET's potential to contribute to lowered unemployment and poverty alleviation, and we value TVET's role in enhancing the lives of self-confidence of individuals in becoming productive citizens. The Vice President emphasized the importance of skills competitions, noting that they serve as an excellent platform to highlight the importance of technical and vocational skills. Mbumba noted that WorldSkills Africa Swakopmund 2022 is a demonstration that the destiny of Namibia is interwoven with that of Africa, and that Namibia continues to actively participate in regional and continental integration processes through Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, and its goal of achieving an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in the global arena.
On to the Russia-Ukraine crisis. The United Nations today revealed that more than 4 million Ukrainians have now fled the country to escape Russia's senseless war. Let's get an in-depth report from AFP.
The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees agency said more than 4 million Ukrainians had fled across the country's borders since the February 24 invasion, with more than 2.3 million having headed west into Poland. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Chief Filippo Grandi, said on Twitter the refugees from Ukraine are now 4 million 5 weeks after the start of the Russian attack. The number of refugees has surpassed the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees' initial estimate that the war could create up to 4 million. The agency said the speed and scale of the displacement is unprecedented in Europe since World War II. Women and children account for 90% of those who have fled. Ukrainian men aged 18 to 60 are eligible for military call-up and cannot leave. The United Nations International Organization for Migration said that in addition to Ukraine's refugees, close to 200,000 non-Ukrainians living, studying and working in the country have also left.
Kindly stand by for your top roundup. In the business and economic segment tonight, we begin with Sino-Namibian relations. A local expert on Tuesday said the bilateral relations between Namibia and China have deepened over the years, translating to a strategic partnership that has yielded fruitful results. Shinwa provides us some context.
Lamek Odada, an economist at the Namibia University of Science and Technology, in an interview with Xinhua, said that the two countries have built solid ties over the years through cooperation in sectors such as education, infrastructure development, agriculture, sports, trade and health, amongst others. He said if one observes closely, besides border diplomatic ties and political mutual trust, the approach, key projects and programs have been human-centric, impacting the lives of many locals. He said China's role in constructing major infrastructural development projects, including the port of Walvis Bay, road infrastructure, airport upgrading, rail, and the dual carriageway, has also strengthened and strategically positioned Namibia's presence in the regional and continental trade area. The economist suggested the two countries expand into new areas of cooperation, such as financial technology, easing conditions of trade processing, and value addition of agricultural products.
The German government's economic advisors slashed their growth forecast for 2022 today, warning that the war in Ukraine and soaring energy prices would take a toll on Europe's biggest economy. AFP breaks everything down for us.
The German Council of Economic Experts said it now expected gross domestic product to expand by just 1.8% year-on-year from an earlier focus of 4.6%. They said in their latest report that Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine and energy prices are drastically worsening the economic outlook. The experts, whose focus are closely watched by Chancellor Olaf Scholz's government, said they saw inflation reaching a decade-high peak of 6.1% in 2022 as energy cost and supply chain disruptions continue to push up prices around the world. For 2023, the panel sees inflation falling back to 3.4%, while economic output should rebound by 3.6%. Germany is due to unveil its March inflation data later this week. The Ukraine conflict has derailed Germany's hopes of finally shaking off the coronavirus pandemic and roaring back to growth.
With the business news, we have come to the end of the top news for this evening. Kindly stay tuned for the economics roundup, followed by the weather forecast.
Sport Planet brings to the fore for you all things sport. Welcome to the midweek edition of the segment. I'm Michael Madimba. We commence with boxing news. MTC Corporate Communications Officer John Ekongo has called on the Ministry of Sports, Youth and National Service to review its sports rewards policy to reward more back office staff members. Ekongo made the call on Tuesday during a welcoming ceremony for Jeremiah Nakathila, who knocked out former world champion Miguel Berchelt after 6 rounds of boxing in Las Vegas on Saturday. Speaking at the welcoming ceremony, Ekongo said over the years, MTC has spoken of the extensive developments they've played a role in sports, but most of the time, those working behind the scenes to build the heroes the country celebrates are forgotten. On to football news with an African twist. Senegal qualified for the FIFA World Cup for the third time in their history and for the second time in a row after defeating Egypt on penalties in their playoff. Having lost the first leg 1-0, Senegal won the second leg by the same scoreline thanks to a goal from Boulaye Dia. With both teams unable to score a decisive goal, the match went to penalties where Senegal won 3-1. Senegal had also beaten Egypt on penalties to win their first ever Africa Cup of Nations in February. Kindly stand by for your sports roundup. We, the Sport Planet segment, we've come to the end of the midweek edition of Primetime News. Many thanks for joining us. Once more, another reminder that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share and hit the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Feel free to interact with us in the comment section. Catch us tomorrow for yet another edition of Primetime News. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the entire production crew, it's good night.